Podcast City Network.
Interviewing all your favorite deathmatch superstars. 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 Deathmatch rock song. Deathmatch rock song. Deathmatch rock song. Deathmatch rock song. Ah, yeah.
And good evening, everyone. You're listening to another episode of the Deathmatch Russell podcast. I'm going to be talking tonight to my guest, Nolan Ryan. Noel Ryan. Who's Noel Ryan? My bad, fans. I'm going to be talking to Noel Edwards, the one and only indie pro wrestler. We're going to see what he's up to, and much, much more, fans. Tune in right now. Nolan, you're on the line.
There we go.
You know what I said? I said a baseball name by accident, but you know what? They don't care. So what, right? Doesn't matter sometimes. You slip, you slide, hey. But baseball, exactly. Yeah. That's a bad way to start a podcast, right?
I played baseball for 1 year. That's okay.
I played too when I was a kid. All right, so.
Yeah, it was only when I was a kid.
Yeah, I think we had our first time on the field, but. Besides the baseball, how you doing tonight?
Doing good. Busy moving. So I'm on the road I've been on the road for quite some time, and I'm going to be on the road for quite some time.
But you know what? This is the perfect way. Podcast on the road.
This is actually the second time I've done a podcast on the road. I feel in the last time I did it was on the road. So yeah. I feel like that's just my thing right now.
Well, there's no static, so that's a good thing. It's crystal clear,
Oh, awesome. I just got a new phone yesterday, so it better be crystal clear.
Yeah, well, it sounds really good on my end. So, your end, my end, I just did the iPhone update, so there's a lot of new features on it. I'm still learning,
That's what I got. I just got an iPhone for the first time. I was a Samsung user for my entire life, and now I have my first iPhone, and I'm still trying to figure it out. But
well, you'll figure it out. It's like what do you call it? It's like an old Nintendo game. You can figure it out really quick.
Just by messing with it.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
But anyway, man, so what's going on with you? You have a lot of wrestling coming up, and, you're everywhere. I'm, reading you on the internet. I'm seeing some stuff, and, I didn't do any research, but you know what? This is the way to do it, right? Just straight from the hip.
Oh, yeah. So, there's a lot of wrestling coming. There's a lot of just, work involving around wrestling coming up, if that makes sense. So, I'm moving. I got my start in Michigan and Canada, and so now I'm moving down to Nashville because of wrestling.
Yeah.
But I'm going to have to kind of, I wouldn't say restart because I've already been put in touch with some connections, but it's kind of like I'm able to kind of start anew.
Yeah, new turf, like new, like a new area, just because there's tons of areas, of wrestling.
Yeah, I've wrestled in, Ohio, Canada, Michigan. I'm trying to think about them all now. Florida. I've wrestled in Jersey once.
Ooh, you need to make your way back to Jersey.
I should.
I know. Bucket list.
And then
bucket list. 2020 is the new year. You know that. It's gonna be
Oh yeah. I actually do believe I should be in Jersey. I'd have to double check. I have to double check, but I think I have a Jersey show at the end of the year. I believe. Cool. The move has kind of
I know. Put your mind on brain freeze. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just want to take a time to just, not think of it, but, get all your bookings when you can, and just take the break,
right?
Because you got, because you don't know what you're doing, like, what day, this day, that day,
All right, and the travel that's included and stuff.
Exactly, and, and sure, how many cancellations you've had, you know what I mean, like wrestling, sorry, we don't have a spot for you tonight, or we can't pay for the flight flight was canceled. You know, that always happens in the industry. I'm sure you know that.
It's happened a couple times.
Yeah. To
me, a few times to everybody. I think.
Yes. Yeah. You're like, oh man, really? I got gypped today. Really? Come on. It's the way to start the week. I'm pumped. I want it to be featured on a card, and wrestle for this company, and you find out it's some, hole in the wall company that really didn't make money. I know all about it. I learned as a fan of wrestling from all the years. You can hear the ins and outs, and
I mean, we're all fans.
Yes, absolutely.
We're all fans.
Yes. So, what age got you into wrestling? Like, what made you pursue yourself into wrestling?
So, like, when I started getting into wrestling, or when I started pursuing it?
Yeah. Like when you were a young kid as a fan, starting off. Like
I'd say I don't remember my first
exposure. Yeah.
Whenever I explain this story, I don't remember when I first was exposed to pro wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
My earliest memory, because I could have been exposed to this beforehand, but my earliest memory was being at my aunt's house for probably some family get together or something.
Yes. Yeah.
And then flipping through the channels and me seeing wrestling.
Yeah.
So, like, that's... And then they quickly skipped over it, and it, like, had my interest, so I made them go back. But they didn't stick on it.
No.
But I feel like I always remember that as my earliest memory. Mm-hmm. And then when I was a little bit older and could get into wrestling, I played football when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And there was this kid on the team talking about wrestling, and I said, "Oh, I know that."
Yeah.
And he was talking to me about all these companies and things, so I went home, and then I was like watching it, and we'd go to practice the next whatever day and talk about it. So whenever I think about wrestling, those are my two earliest memories.
That's like a fan would tell our friends, yeah, let's go. We got to see what's on TV tonight. Check this show out. It's really awesome. This company, there's this promotion or wrestling company that's coming to town. You have to check it out.
Yeah, and I didn't know anything about independent wrestling until I started to want to get into training. So that kind of sucks because I feel like now seeing all the kids that go there, I was like, oh, I feel like I missed out. Like I only saw what was on TV.
Yeah,
I didn't chance to go to the shows when I was a kid, so I didn't find out about that until it was too late. But
yeah. What was your first show you went as a kid? As your early age.
I think so. It goes back to my aunt, that same aunt whose house I was talking about. She won tickets on some radio show in Detroit, and it was to a Monday Night Raw. And she knew I liked wrestling, so she gave them to me. But she told me it was a meet and greet with The Undertaker.
Ooh.
And I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
And then me and my dad got the tickets.
Yeah.
And it was a show. And I was like, okay, well, this is even better.
Right, because you got the whole package.
So that was the first show I went to.
That's cool. And then after that, you're like, oh, wow, okay, this is something I want to check out more. I want to go to more,
Oh, yeah. Dude, I've lost count how many I've been to.
Yeah. You ever been to any pay-per-views?
If I had to guess, I'd probably say I've been to an arena as a kid.
Yeah.
Growing up to see a show, whether it was a big arena or a little arena,
yeah.
I'd probably say 20 shows.
Oh, that's not bad. Wow, man.
It's not. Yeah. Some people go to them, there was a few years where I missed out. I couldn't go to this one or couldn't go to that one.
Yes.
But I feel like 20 is not even that crazy of a number when you're a wrestling fan and they come to town.
Absolutely. Like WWE used to come all the time, and, to our neighborhoods and just to those little house shows,
Yeah.
You'd be like, wow, all right, let me go check this out tonight. Let me go grab some friends and go watch wrestling for a couple, or win tickets at least, to something. Try to get some tickets,
right.
or know somebody who has connections, or a buddy of yours.
Yeah.
Oh, I got tickets tonight, man. Let's go. Okay, But I, when I was younger, I always tell my stories how, wrestling was when I grew up. It was I actually got lucky, and my dad and I went to WrestleMania 5 in Atlantic City. As a kid, growing up, sitting there in the nosebleeds. this is unbelievable. I'm seeing the wrestling for the first time, you know, live and hearing the thumps of the mat, you know, from all.
And you didn't even know, like,
yeah,
what WrestleMania was all about at the time.
No, and like just to and to be just there to be like, wow, I actually sat next to, and I actually did. I was like 5 rows away from next to Gorilla Monsoon and Jesse the Body while they were on the commentary. Like, isn't that crazy? And I'm holding my Mega Power sign for the Hulk, you know, neon sign for being a Hulkamanian Macho fan, you know. Mega Powers explode, you know. It's crazy.
And like, just I feel like being a kid in that time must have been an amazing experience.
It really was, because wrestling was my area in New Jersey was so, you know, packed with wrestling back in the mid '80s and the '90s, you know. And I wish I was still, you know, but they killed it, you know. We killed it. We even had an Iron Mike Sharp's training school in our town. And I would actually go on a Saturday morning with my dad, and my next door neighbor, the next door was my hair cutter place, so they would go there too and get their haircuts. But I used to see X-Pac as the 1, 2, 3 kid every time, you know, and Nova of ECW would train. Isn't that wild?
I had one of my original trainers. Mm-hmm. Did some stuff where when he got done with his training and he was traveling, mm-hmm. that he was able to kind of get mentored by some people, mm-hmm. In the company. And I remember, I think we were finishing some training class or something, mm-hmm. and he randomly looked at me and he was like, "You should use Nova's finisher."
Yeah.
So whenever I hear Nova's name, I just always think about him just saying that.
Yeah. I mean, ECW was a big thing. Like, I never knew about ECW really as a kid, but I worked at 18 years old. I like telling this story too. 18 years old, I was working in a dollar store, and this guy comes in, and he's like, "Hey, I'm a wrestler, you know, it's Balls Mahoney from ECW." I didn't know what I was getting into, you know, like, oh man, this is awesome, you know, like he just came into my dollar store and just was talking to people, you know, and next door was a clothing store that my friend worked at, and he used to sell the clothes to Public Enemy, you know, big and tall store. So it was like, wow, this is
where they.
What's that? Oh, broke up.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was like, wow.
But where they could get clothes, that's actually kind of funny.
Yes. Yeah, just take from, Philadelphia to Jersey Shore, but Balls was a local, you know, so, but I became good friends with him after, you know, years and years, you know, which was really cool.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I always like telling that story. People are like, damn.
No, that's a good story.
It is. It's like one of those, hey, you don't know. He signed a little piece of paper and gave me some tickets after or something. I don't remember, you know. Because I used to go to the same show, go to all the shows with him, you know, watch him locally. But yeah, ECW, you know, was a big mainstay in the New Jersey area, you know. Like, people really never knew that. Like, there's like hidden shows with ECW, you know, before ECW, you know.
Right, and then there was the 2300 Arena in Philadelphia.
Yeah, that's now called the 23 Arena. It's weird now. They changed that up so much, you know.
Yeah.
It's all, they got a bar in there now. It's crazy. I used to go to a lot of shows out of that place. Man, I gotta get back there. I used to go all the time to just like local, whatever was in town, or they had some good cards, and I would just jump on it, you know.
Yeah, because multiple promotions would go to it. Mm-hmm. Or was it always just one?
No, not Philly-based. But, no, Ring of Honor used to run, too, right at the Armory also. So they would do double-header nights, you know, which was wild, you know.
Yeah.
And, of course, Edison for Ring of Honor, too, you know. That was a big mainstay. I got lucky, you know. When I was, like, young in wrestling, I never, you know, like, I'll tell you what, I always tell everybody the CZW rival story, how I got involved with CZW. I actually was at, there was a wrestling card called Pro Wrestling Unplugged was wrestling in Philly that night at the arena, right? And this guy, you know, and Ring of Honor was doing a show at the Armory. Well, guess what? It was an anniversary, the 100th year anniversary show of Ring of Honor, and it was the Jim Cornette and John Zandig feud that was going on. So I ended up buying a ticket for the Ring of Honor side, not knowing, it was packed. The seats were packed, so I ended up on the CZW side, hanging with Chris Hero and Claudio Castagnoli at the time. And this is awesome.
Was this during the attack at all? Like Necro Butcher and
yes.
Joe
Yes. That was the whole Super Dragon and Brian. Yep. Yeah, that was a great.
Yeah, nobody can say I'm not wrestling culture.
Oh, that's good. Hey, that's good. I like telling. Yeah, you could. But yeah, what an experience it was just to be there for a rival. And then I never went to CZW. But then after that, I started following it, and I was like, dude, this stuff's awesome. Like, the wrestling is really good. And then Cage of Death and all that. But I never got to go to those way back in the day. But I've been to a lot of the newer, And I'm like, man, this is awesome. I got hooked, on the wrestling. But, yeah. So, Ring of Honor, man. I'll tell you what. Those days of Ring of Honor were the best. I used to go to like I said, I've been to Edison. And I remember going to the, what the hell was it? Death Before Dishonor. Before CM Punk signed. He actually signed. He was facing Austin Aries, and I remember Christopher Daniels jumped the guardrail, like right behind me. Excuse me, kid, I'm like, this is awesome.
And to think if you didn't move, that could have been messed up all because of you.
Yeah, right? It could have been. Yeah, or
little things.
Yeah, but look at them all now. They're all signed everywhere, and big companies. Big.
Right.
But what are your thoughts on? What are your thoughts on AEW? You like that? What's going on with that?
I always watch.
Yeah.
It's weird because I feel like a lot of wrestlers talk about what they are and are not able to watch because of how busy they are.
Yeah.
But I've always found time to get updated on everything going on, or like what company is doing this, what company is doing that.
Yeah.
So I've never had the problem of not being able to watch all the wrestling. Like, I watch everything. And I feel like I don't have thoughts on any particular company because I think everybody offers something different.
They do.
But I do have, and I feel like a lot of people are saying this right now, but I'm just going to say it again because I completely agree, and I think it's awesome that there's so much stuff to watch right now.
Yeah, there is. Look like what base they use, Roku and Fight TV. Fight TV is the popular one, and that's like
I'm trying to think about it. There's Fight.
Yeah.
There's Fight Network, Fight TV.
Independent.
There's Independent Watch Wrestling, right?
Yeah.
And then Impact is on Access.
Yes. And on Twitch.
Every other company's got
and
something
on Twitch.
Going to TV right now.
Don't forget, Impact has Twitch once in a while. They do that. Throw that on.
We are on Twitch.
Yeah. House of Hardcore does that too. Shout out.
Yep.
They do that. But it's crazy. Yeah, I'm seeing your name, and there we go. Impact. What's that all about, huh? I'm seeing you're making your name known. That's good. You try to get around, huh?
I go to the school before I moved.
Yeah.
But I go to Scott Moore's Can-Am school in Windsor.
Oh, cool.
That's where I was trained and everything. And,
yeah.
Hence why being based out of Detroit in Canada.
Yeah.
But so going to school there is just giving me plenty of opportunities to work with Impact in any way I can find myself useful to them.
Yes. Yeah.
And before I went to wrestling school, I had a film background because that's what I went to trade school for. And so, hence the move to Nashville. I'm actually moving down here for during the week to work in the production studio just to kind of dabble with them on helping out with production.
Oh, cool. That's going to be something fun. It's different. It's something, you'll learn something new, and, the technology has changed, It's going to be like your wow. I know a guy who does, he actually works for WWE, and he really kills it, and he does independent films too as well, independent wrestlers. But it's like mind-blowing what you guys could do,
Right. That's some of the best stuff to watch, though. all the documentaries on independent like wrestlers or like shows like that go in depth. I really.
It's like you look into their minds and you see how, like, you think about it. The one wrestler, the perfect, really always does it. It amazes me. His name is Nick Mondo.
Oh my God!
Right? Like
when you were mentioning CZW, like my biggest thing, like the biggest. I'm trying to think of the word for it. Like shock value, and like what was just kept drawing me to watching it was Sick Nick.
Yeah, and then to see him doing these promos for helping John Moxley out for the Game Changer Wrestling for the the Bloodsport or the AEW. No, I don't know. He didn't do anything for AEW, but yeah, Moxley.
He did. He did that first one.
Mm-hmm. But
he's done all of them for him so far, I believe.
Fantastic job, but to be an actor too is like that's awesome. Like has that passion. He's still doing it. It's amazing. He's still.
If I could wrestle in the pants that he wrestled in.
Yeah.
And make it work.
Yeah.
I'd have my dream ring attire.
Did you catch that document? Did you ever see the Sick Nick Mondo movie that he did?
I'm trying to remember. I did watch it. I'm trying to remember the name of it.
Yeah, the Sick Nick Mondo, Mondo story or whatever it was, but it was really good. It was really.
Wasn't it called Unscarred? Or...
Yes, Unscarred or something. Yes.
If I'm wrong, I'm gonna hate myself.
Yeah, I can't think of it right now. Oh man, shoot, let's not. Oh, guess what? I'll Google it while we're talking. How's that?
Yeah, if I'm wrong, I'm gonna feel like an idiot. But I remember watching it. I watched it around sometime last year or a year and a half ago.
Mm-hmm. Let me see.
Just all the shots and stuff like just his life, and then following
the trade,
following Rory,
the trade.
Oh Jesus!
Yes.
I feel so dumb.
I forget about it. There's so many movies we can't even think of. It's like, but it's okay.
Unscarred. There has to be some documentary called Unscarred then?
No, that was a DVD. That was a DVD of his.
Okay.
I remember watching that because that was all like his matches of the past. With Rory Gulak and all the other guys.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm not completely dumb.
No, there is a... Yep. Oh, wait, don't forget about the backyard game he was in.
I remember.
God, that was awesome playing that. One of the commentators talks about it till this day. His name's Kevin Gill, of KG. Oh, man, and he's still around. That guy's still around. He used to do a lot for the Juggalos, announcing and all that, but he's still around.
Oh, for JCW?
Yeah. But he's part of GCW now, Game Changer Wrestling. What do you think of that scene? Game Changer. Have you heard of that name? Game Changer Wrestling?
I've actually. Oh yeah, everybody's heard of it.
Yeah.
I actually had the chance to wrestle Shane Mercer a few months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like. I'm trying to remember. It was the day after he gorilla pressed that kid off of a roof.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
is when I wrestled him.
Oh, really? After that night? Oh, wait, the roof. Oh, is that backyard video you're talking about?
Yeah.
That backyard wrestling event that they did with there were some breakout stars that just came out of there. That kid, Alex Zane, his name is.
Yeah, there were a lot of people on it. Mm-hmm. But the day after Shane threw that kid off the roof, I wrestled him.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
In Carmel, Indiana.
Yeah. Shane Mercer, man, that guy's a beast. He's awesome. He's a guy that could go toe to toe with anybody, and he's he's pretty powerful. My God,
yeah.
Shout out to Shane. If you're listening, Shane, I've had him on before. But yeah, Game Changer Wrestling, man. What do you think of that? It's like a really cool company. They're really come a long way.
Yeah, it fits under what I was talking about with with Fight.
Yes.
Watch Wrestling, all of these services, and what every other company is doing. Yeah. I honestly feel like all the companies that are huge and have a following right now, they're not all doing something alike.
No, everybody has it as a different platform.
They have a niche or a niche.
Yeah, the niche to just come up with something creative, and, but
yeah,
like WrestleMania weekend, how the hell, man, that was an insane, and I didn't even go to it. I was so pissed off. I just was like, you know what, wrestling's in town, but am I gonna get jammed with all these tourists, and you know what I mean? I'll sit home and watch it on Fight TV. I was like, damn, 11 companies were wrestling at WrestleMania, and that's awesome. That was like really a great WrestleMania this year to watch independent wrestling. People need to go out and check them out. When they're in town, go to a show because you have a show every single night.
Right. That was this past Mania weekend was the first first time I ever went out to one.
Yeah.
And that was also my first time in New York, and that's when I wrestled in Jersey that one. Mm-hmm. And it was quite the experience.
Yeah, yeah.
And a huge part of it was the wrestling, obviously, but honestly, just
to be there and to see all this going on, it's like, wow, this is happening.
Yeah.
You can't think of this stuff in your head. Like, man, my ultimate goal, here I'm a wrestler. Can I mainstream this main company and go wrestle one night after another on a different promotion? And a lot of those guys did that.
Some people,
yeah.
A lot of us were wrestling 3 shows a night.
Yeah, absolutely. Dark matches or just battle royals. Independent. There are a lot of battle royals too.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's another. But Mania this year, where is it? Tampa? Jeez.
It's in Tampa, yeah.
I might just sit home and watch it on the screen. But what do you got coming up? What do you have? Let's talk about what you got coming up. How's that? Let's switch it up now.
So I've got some shows in Indiana, and considering the move down to Nashville, I have 3 more shows left in Michigan that I'm going to be finishing up. Mm-hmm. And that's all by the end of November. So by the end of November, I will have completely, for the time being, left Michigan. Mm-hmm. Which that's always good. You always want to get out and get your name everywhere you possibly can. Mm-hmm. And so now coming up is just finding a school here. Mm-hmm. There's a school that is linked with Scott's in Windsor. So just getting in there, and then getting connections to shows in Nashville.
Yeah.
I've got some shows in Georgia and Alabama that I'm talking to right now where I know people that wrestle there. And since I'll be living closer, I can make it to those shows now.
Yeah.
So it's really, I'm going to try and stay as busy as possible when not working during the week on production and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. That's awesome, man. You got bright future ahead of you, and just keep going. That's what they say, right? Just keep going, and if you could do it to as long as you want and retire, hey, look at it, right? You wrestled all your life,
We have this trainer at the school in Windsor who says this thing to every student. He says, you can't wrestle for, I don't remember how many years he uses as an example, but he'll say you can't wrestle for X amount of years. Your body won't be able, some people's bodies won't be able to take it. But if you know every possible aspect of the wrestling business, if you know how to hold the camera, if you know how to hold a microphone, if you know how to write, if you know how to set up chairs, if you know how to set up a ring, if you know how to referee.
Yeah. I was gonna say you have some pictures of you refereeing. I was gonna say that's pretty awesome. You did a lot of refereeing too.
Yeah, I've done some refereeing for Impact as well. That was the first opportunity I was given. So this would be the second, and I just take it as
do you know? I guess you know that.
Not promised anything.
Do you know that kid ref, Chris? Do you know?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Really cool. Good kid.
He refs for GCW, I believe.
Yes, he's all over the place. Even Mexico.
He's I don't know for sure, but I think he's based around where you are.
Yeah, but he travels to a lot of For Your Impact and does a lot of stuff for them, you know, when he can.
Yeah.
When he can. There's so many other referees I know in the business. It's funny. It's like, you know somebody, and it's like, wow, there they are. They're on TV now, you know?
Right.
You know?
That's something I noticed is liking wrestling growing up. You always know the wrestlers, but once you get into wrestling, you don't just know them. You don't just recognize the wrestlers. You recognize everybody.
Yeah, I mean, it's like when there's this one wrestler, Eddie. His name's Bandito Jr. from Jersey All Pro Wrestling, for the local federation, and he became the referee for WWE. Eddie Orange, you know. Like, people didn't know that.
It's the crazy stuff like that.
Yeah, and I still
it's stuff that you don't think about.
No, and I still keep in contact with them, and that's awesome. You know, got to keep in contact with your friends. It's like, like Drake Younger. Look at him, man. You know, there's another guy who made a career out of wrestling, and now is a referee and has a family. You know, that's the way to do. That's the way to do it. You know, big shout out to him too, Big Drake. Yeah, man. You know. Got to meet him a couple times.
He was awesome.
I know. I remember I met him at a Jersey All Pro show when I was younger. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. Like, not being known, you know.
Right.
But now you look at these guys, the other guys, and they're making their names out there, you know. Names are being seen everywhere.
Yeah, I just like how you could go anywhere within wrestling right now and be able to be happy and really do something for yourself, no matter what position you get put in.
Absolutely, that's like
the best part about wrestling right now to me.
Yeah, but it's going to be a choker when I have to say goodbye to when I say goodbye to Joey Janela on Monday morning, on Monday night next week, because I grew up watching him. Actually, it's crazy, small little local promotion in Jersey, and taking off and making a name for himself. It's going to be great.
I'll never forget the first time I met him.
Yeah.
He was, it was at the, outside of a locker room, and maybe during the weekend this past year.
Yeah.
And I think I looked at his pants, and I didn't see who it was, and they were like red leopard pants.
Yes.
And I thought, oh, those are nice pants. And then I looked up, and it was Joey Janela, so I went over and introduced myself.
Yeah.
I just thought it was funny. I'm in the background, and there's like so many people that you met, some you know. Yeah. And then some you've met before, won't recognize you, whatever, but you have to meet them again and introduce yourself. And I saw him, and I was like, oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's he's been around, man. He's done it all, But now he's going to say goodbye for now, Who knows? But,
no, he's done amazing things.
He does. He's had a good career. I mean, that spot off the roof, I was there for that, and my God.
Are you talking about with Zandig?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Mm-hmm. That went viral.
Nobody try repeating that.
No. 2 times they've done that. No, 3 or 4 times. Madman Pond, no. Oh, God, my friend, who the hell else tried to do that? They were throwing somebody, I forget, off of a truck or something. Oh, Homeless Jimmy.
They've done some, like, I think they've tried it twice or 3 times.
Yeah, they just got back from Chicago this week, too. Man, it's like my friends were like, I'm just like, damn, I wasn't there, That's like,
yeah, you started off by talking about drives, now you got to make that drive over there again.
Yeah, right? Well, nah, I really didn't like Chicago too much. It wasn't for me. Chicago was too...
I've had a chance to wrestle in Chicago a couple times.
Yeah.
But didn't get to see the city, but... Yeah,
that's what I would love to do. I saw the slummy part of the city, I was like, this isn't that great. And the hotels weren't that great, The Motel 6 or whatever it was,
I did a show in Chicago, or I did a show in Grand Rapids, Michigan, on a Friday.
Yeah.
Drove like 2.5, 3 hours to Chicago. Slept in my car inside of a hotel parking lot because some guys that I was staying at in the hotel with in Detroit weren't leaving till that morning, and I beat them there. Slept in my car, had them wake me up that morning, checked in the hotel, wrestled, and then stayed there that weekend.
Yeah, party, everybody's just partying, wants to have fun, It's like
I wouldn't say much partying.
Yeah.
We definitely went and played mini golf while wearing. So we have a friend that's a mass wrestler named El Ridiculoso, and we went and played mini golf, and it's the only time I've ever done mini golf.
Right.
Because he knew the area, and there was 4 of us, and we were all wearing one of his masks, and we were just making everybody uncomfortable.
Just goofing around. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to do that, though. You got to do that. It's like, you know, you just go to like when I went to that club. I didn't know I wasn't expecting what I had to see at that club exit, you know, in Chicago. I was like, this is different, you know, like a goth go, you know, bar, you know. I'm like, this is awesome, punk rock bar, you know. You never get a chance to see that, you know, something different.
Anytime there's something different,
yeah,
it's like you just got to experience it.
No, but I did have a Chicago hot dog though, so I didn't have the pizza. I did not get a slice.
I was about to say. I was like, I didn't know Chicago was known for their hot dogs. I knew it was pizza.
No, they're on it's those Food Network specials, the hot dogs. They always say Chicago is one of the top places. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
No, Chicago's known for their pizza and hot dogs. Sounds like a New Jersey thing, right?
It does sound like it'd be a New Jersey thing.
Yeah.
I'm in Chicago for Bound for Glory weekend.
Right.
This month, actually. Or October, sorry.
Yeah.
So I'll have to see if I can find a hot dog.
All right. Try to find a hot dog. You know, then we could. But I'd like to have you come back on the podcast again. You know, definitely.
Yeah. Let me find out this hot dog story, and then I'll come back on.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. You find a hot dog and then call me for the hot dog place.
Do a podcast on the spot.
On the spot. Yeah, I'll meet you at the hot dog wagon. But where can everybody find you on social media?
So I just did a change up. I was so on Twitter, which I will fully admit, every podcast I ever do, I let everybody know that I am awful at using Twitter, and I am trying to get better. But it's SOS Nolan Edwards, and then my Instagram, which I will fully admit I am better at and prefer using, so you're always getting updates and stuff on what's going on with Nolan Edwards on my Instagram, and that's SOS_Gypsy Scum. And then I have a YouTube page that I always just upload matches to. You can just search Nolan Edwards and you'll find my page, or you'll find other people's pages that they posted of matches they've had with me. And then Facebook, if you just search Nolan Edwards, my page will pop up.
Come see you at a show. He's got merch, as always. You know, fans. You know, I always tell him, come see him, get an autograph, 8x10, you know. I always push that for you guys. It's like, hey, gotta get that extra spot out there for them, you know.
If you're not pushing it, and then nobody else is besides us, then who's going to?
Yes. Like, I'm going to be hooking you up with the Deathmatch Russell podcast merch box. How's that? Merch pack.
There you go. You go.
Fans, if you're listening tonight, I need to get rid of this shit. I want to start some news. I need some new merch. I'm getting tired of looking at my old boxes, you know?
You have to get the new stuff.
Get some new
Wait for it to get old very quick, and then
does.
Want to get rid of it to get newer.
Absolutely, because you know what? There's so many things that are coming on the market these days. You can look on like pop socks or whatever the hell, you know, this and that.
I know some wrestlers in the Detroit area that sell their own pops or whatever.
Yeah. I'm like,
crazy.
Hey, beer coasters, beer cozies to whatnot, you know.
Yeah.
Even Funkos, I don't know, you know. Some of them have their own generic cover of them, you know. Or wrestlers, custom-made figures. That are insane also, you know.
I've had a fan give me a custom-made figure before.
Oh, yeah? Oh, cool.
I'd say that's probably like one of my favorite wrestling moments. Getting a figure of yourself.
Getting a figure of yourself. You have to take a picture of that sometimes. I checked it out.
I may have already, but if I didn't, I will.
I'll look on the fans. Check it out. Go look on Facebook if you can find it. Post it as a. We'll find it.
There you go.
Or
If
Instagram.
if somebody beats me to it.
Or it's on Instagram.
If it's not on Facebook, it'd be on Instagram. If it's not on Instagram, it'd be on Facebook.
Yes. Not Twitter.
Vice versa.
Not Twitter.
No. It just confuses me.
Yeah. Twitter has so much going on with themselves. I don't know. But I want to
somebody retweeted my tweet the other day, and I didn't know what that meant.
Mm-hmm. It was some little kid. It was probably some little kid. I don't know. They get on these things and they tweet everything. So what are you going to do? It's the next generation, right?
I'm just going to accept it.
Hey, but you know what? Moving forward, you have a lot coming up, and I'd like to. We'll schedule something after. Let's see. What's October? How about November? We do a little something.
Yeah, let's do something in November again, because then I'll have some more stories to share. I'll have some more experience down here, and I can update you guys on how everything's going.
Mm-hmm.
Let you guys know how Bound for Glory weekend went.
Mm-hmm. I used to go to a couple. I remember going to a couple Impact shows as a kid. You know, as not a kid. Yeah, okay, I'm a kid. As a kid, yeah, I was at Impact when I was a young kid. No, I mean, no local shows in Rahway, New Jersey, and Asbury Park. I used to go to a couple of the house shows when they were around. Those were always fun, you know, because you don't know who's going to be on the card. The card's subject to change, as always, you know. Also,
as always.
But yeah, it's fun. I mean, I've seen Tommy Dreamer to Abyss. How many times do I see Abyss wrestle? Millions of times. You know, it's like, all right. But
and it never gets old.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It's like Jay Lethal. That never gets old either. You know, when he had his Black with Cheeseburger gimmick. You know.
Yeah.
But anyway, Nolan, I want to say thank you for coming on tonight, and you have a good night.
Thank you for having me. I've only got 3 more hours to drive.
Well, put some rock music on and enjoy it.
I will. Thank you so much for having me.
What's your tune? What are you gonna listen to? What's your big thing right now? Who you big on?
I'll probably put on Johnny Cash.
You know what? A little Johnny Cash. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with a little Johnny Cash.
That's what I'm feeling right now.
Yeah, I'm looking at my Johnny Cash Elvis poster right now in the background of me. How's that?
There you go.
From Memphis.
That's what I'll do. I'll put on some Johnny Cash then.
Nice. But have a good night, and looking forward to talking to you again.
Thank you so much.
Good night.
Good night.
Wrestling fans, that was awesome. That was Noel Edwards, indie wrestler, and he's making his name. He wants to be known. He's the future of wrestling, and keep your eyes out because he's appeared on Impact Wrestling, and you don't know where he'll be next. And independent wrestling, as always, he's everywhere and everywhere. So fans, check him out on Facebook. Noel Edwards. Check him on his Twitter. Check him on his Instagram. Fans, thank you for listening. And have a good night. Oh, fans, by the way, Deathmatch Russell Podcast, not over. Tomorrow night, fans, I'll be talking to indie pro wrestler Johnny Zeke. And we're going to talk to him and see what he's up to and talk wrestling. Thank you for listening. Have a good night, everyone.
Hey, wrestling fans, I want to mention Collar and Elbow. Collar and Elbow was founded on traditional values of professional wrestling. 2 entities working together to create a product intended to connect with people on an emotional level. A symbiotic relationship where one cannot flourish without the other. We strive to create a product that embodies our passion for professional wrestling expressed through street fashion. Visit collarandelbowbrand.com and use the promo code Deathmatch Russell Podcast and save 10% off when you make a purchase. Collar and Elbow, where wrestling passion meets street fashion. You can find more Deathmatch Russell podcasts on the following social media: deathmatchrussell.com, follow on Twitter at DavidNJ32, and on Facebook, facebook.com/DJDaveNJ32. Find me on Podcast City Network at podcastcity.net, facebook.com/Podcast City Network. Hit the like button and share, and on Twitter at PodcastCityNet. You can hear Deathmatch Russell podcast on Stitcher Radio and on iTunes.